Hello and welcome everybody to the latest edition of the Jam and Cheese Show.
That was good. Plenty of energy there.
Plenty of energy.
He's awake.
Plenty of energy in the tank today. Round 4's done. How was the bye?
To be honest, it was pretty tough this week. Last week. Training was very difficult. We did a mini pre-season. But yeah, we had 2 days off and I enjoyed those. I went up to Newey. Kind of had a wholesome weekend with the missus. So yeah, but there was some good footy on. So I watched most of the games.
Yeah. How bad's that when you get the bye and the coach and the staff decide to ambush you?
Yeah, I guess it's all right. I wasn't too happy at the time, but I know I'm better off for it. But I think the difference is you get more buys this year.
Yes.
So, they're not going to give you 2 7-day holidays, are they? That would just be ludicrous.
Wouldn't it?
But hopefully in the mid-year bye we get a bit more time off.
Fingers crossed, mate.
I don't just have to go up to Newcastle.
But as long as you're not away for this show.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't dare.
Absolute priority. Absolute priority.
I wouldn't dare, mate. Don't be silly.
Good. I'm glad we've cleared that up. What do you make of round 4? The games are tight, aren't they?
Yeah, well, it started off good. It was the Penrith Parramatta game, the first game.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best games I think I've ever watched, like that intentively. And it was bloody annoying because my Wi-Fi kept dropping out, so I just had to watch it on my phone eventually. My TV was pissing me off. But the way that finished, the whole Mitch Moses saga over, him re-signing, and then I guess the dream. He's kicked the winning field goal against their dads, if you ask Jerome Luai.
Yeah.
So
well, mate, the standard was through the roof. I think Penrith completed above 85 and Melbourne, Parramatta were in the 90s. It was insane.
Yeah, you could tell the ball was in play. The first 15 minutes, it was just not a stoppage. It was just back to back to back to back. And I think there wasn't like a penalty for it, like 18 minutes or something like that. Like, those are the games that are the real tough ones. That's like Origin material.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I can't believe what Cleary did at the end there.
Oh my goodness.
I was like pacing around my lounge room, going, "What the fuck?"
How did he get it through the eye of the needle, and then how did he get it through the posts?
I don't know how he did it, but I'm glad that it happened because now Junior Paulo's not playing against us.
Ah, yes. Oh dear, yeah.
And then you had the Redcliffe game, and every game's just been so good.
Yeah. Well, I think producer Charlie's come up with some stats. 9 points is the average margin of victory, which is the lowest by far. There's only one team at round 4. There's only one team with an unbeaten record. It's Brisbane.
Yeah,
and there's only one team yet to get off the mark, which is the Tigers. So
yeah, and that Brisbane game was that was another cracker for the Battle of Brisbane, the first ever inaugural battle. That was exactly how I thought it would be. I was watching that game and, Tessie New. Yeah. Did you see? I think he'd done like his MCL or something in the first 5 minutes. And that was my every time he got the ball, he ran, I just quinced. And I was thinking, oh, that looks painful. And
he probably, if he's not injured, there's an opportunity he gets. You can just see he's half in because his knee's gone.
Yeah, and for him to get through the game, I thought that's a pretty decent effort, putting your team first. I've done my MCL before. I know the winger's a lot different to being in the front row, but I've done my MCL before. It's like when you move your knee around, it's like your legs just flapping in the wind. And for him to get through the game, so I was pretty proud of him. Yeah. I thought it was a good effort. But
what about the effort from Mark Nichols and Tom Gilbert, the chase back? Jeez, that makes me happy.
Yeah. Marky Nichols, he's the hand of the fins.
The fin of God. I like that. The fin of God. But mate, you know what was amazing? He did a great tie-in tackle, the tackle before on Reece Walsh, who's playing ridiculous football.
You're probably speaking gibberish to a lot of people. Tie and tackle? What's that?
No, so big Payne Haas has burst through, passed it on the inside to Reece Walsh. Luckily, Mark Nichols was there. And then he's chased back again, and the fin of God.
The fin of God.
And then Gilbert in the last minute to chase down Katoni Staggs. I know a lot of people go, what was the point? You were never going to catch him. But Reynolds misses the conversion.
Yeah.
So it's a 6-point game as opposed to an 8-point game. So in another universe, they go short, get the ball back, they score a la Penrith. Penrith got a conversion, but if the Dolphins have got the ball back, they've got 30 seconds to play with to try and score a try, kick the conversion, go to goal.
Those are the sort of plays that I think all coaches, or all good coaches, are looking for in players. And Tommy Gilbert, from everything I've heard, is a real hard trainer, and that kind of shows when you're out on the field. What things you do at training. So, the footy's been that good. I love that game. The Redcliffe, they might actually be the real deal.
Yeah.
They might actually be the real deal. They lost their halfback. They had an MCL on their winger. They lost their starting number 6. Like, that's...
Your mate suspended for a little bit.
Who's that? Oh, Felice Kafusi. Like, that's three of their best players all out, and then Tessie New, one of their key signings, done an MCL, and they still stayed within 6 points of the undefeated side of the comp. Wayne Bennett, he's got his little puppet strings out.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, mate. The battle of the ex-Penrith assistants as well between the Warriors and the Dogs, mate, that was a great... Like, considering just how far those two teams have come, like...
Yeah.
For them to make an 80-minute contest... like last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah, if you were going to tell me the Warriors would be in the top 4 at the moment, I probably would call you a liar. But I think that speaks volumes in the coaching that comes out of Penrith. And, like, obviously Shaun Johnson, Cameron Ciraldo had said that he was the difference. But I agree. He played one of his best games and he's having a great year. But I think the whole... system behind their defense and working hard for each other, that's the difference in the Warriors this year. Like, you can see that they're not just going to give up.
Johnson was on top of kick-out and he actually controlled him pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe how well Shaun Johnson defended, and then even seeing him on a kick chase, it's like, what? Is this guy feeling all right?
Yeah.
Because he's not been known for that, and it just maybe I don't know whether it's just that realisation of time's running out, so...
Or is it the coaching? Like, the sort of effort areas that other coaches might not see that. I guess the Penrith... obviously it works. Like, they've won 2 back-to-back titles. Obviously their coaching system works, and I think the Warriors are benefiting from that. But first of all, it takes the players to come and make the difference. Like, that's... Like, with the Dragons coach, I think Griffin is like, what point is it, like, not his fault?
Yeah.
Like, the players need
the players have got to take some ownership, but then I think the situation there, people don't like not knowing. People don't like... People like definitive answers. You have an amazing capability as human beings to deal with... situations as long as you know what's going on. But what people don't like to deal with is uncertainty. And people can say, like within the team, we'll just crack on. You just play and you play for him now, but the uncertainty with him, but then the staff as well. Yeah. You know what it's like, coaches under pressure, all those staff that you're so close with, all the strength and conditioners, how many staff would be on the Roosters, like maybe 10, 15 that you're seeing day to day that you're really tight with, you know don't get the sort of financial benefits of being a player. You're with them all the time, and you see them, like, because they're attached to the coach, a lot of them, so that trickles down to their uncertainty, and they're going, well, hang on, if he goes, am I?
Yeah, it's just pressure building.
It affects everybody in the organisation, and then even from a playing point of view, well, hang on, if this isn't a coach, if a new coach comes in, you might not like me or want me to get this guy that I've had before. So...
And I think... And they're all because they're not going to bring a coach up are they? They'll try to re-sign another coach that's just off the market.
I think they'd probably look to try and bring a former Dragon back.
Yeah. Because at the Storm, I was there for 7 years, and whenever someone left, like Adam O'Brien, it was just next man up mentality. Yeah. That means Mark Bretnell, he was another assistant coach. He came up, so I had the same physios for 7 years, the same coach for 7 years, the same head and strength conditioning for 7 years. Like, I'd never changed once. Like, I knew all the people that I was thinking. Steve Kearney came back. He was an assistant coach as well, but he was already been at the club for years. We've seen each other around at the club before he came. So, there's something about that, I think.
It just seems strange to say, we're going to interview you again. Just make a call and deal with it. Don't make him interview again. I think that's a bit of public relations.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to say yes and we're not going to say no. Just trying to bide some time. But I think the advice should be get a call made now. He's got the club has a huge 6 weeks ahead of them in terms of their draw and some of the opposition that they face. Like
they're just, unfortunately for Griffin, you come up against the Dally M medalist that absolutely turned on a clinic. Nico Hines.
Even the things he got wrong ended up going well.
Oh, when he put that little grubber in there, ricocheted.
That's when you know you're good.
But I think he had 5 line breaks, 3 try assists, 150 metres.
What did he play 60 or 70? Did he come off
70 minutes.
Yeah.
65 minutes. And the difference in the side.
Oh, mate, huge.
The difference in the side was massive.
Yeah.
So
talking about making a difference in sides, there's one guy that there's now huge expectation on to make a difference for the Wallabies. Brandon, you were quoted in the week. Let's have a quick listen to what you had to say on the situation.
He really got a gem there. He's only gone for 3 years. I think he'll be about 16 when he comes back, so he'll be able to come back to the Roosters hopefully. And, like Peter V'landys said, go over, get that easy money, and then come back to the real sport. 1.6 million could have been spent better on the grassroots of rugby. A $1.6 million winger from the Roosters isn't going to help you beat the All Blacks. Rugby really got it.
Mate, do you think there's been a bit of that overreaction?
I guess so. Like
he's your teammate.
Everyone's going to have their opinion. But yeah, like I'm not having to go at Suwali at all. Like I'm very happy for him and he's making that dollar. But I'm from New Zealand.
Yeah.
I support the All Blacks. I don't support rugby. I grew up in a household where rugby was not a thing. And Australians hate Kiwis. Kiwis hate Australians when it comes to sport. It's just fact. Like I don't exactly like the Kangaroos, but I respect the players and all of them that play for them. But like, I just think it was friendly banter between a cross-code banter and cross-code country banter that I thought it was funny.
And it was completely taken out of context.
Yeah, everyone thinks Suwali, and I guess I am jealous of Suwali. Jesus Christ, who's not? He's tall, he's 6'4", he's sexy, and he's making $1.6 million in a few years when he's about 22. So it's hard not to be jealous of him. But no, we're still boys. We still hang out. We still hang out at training. We're sweet. There was nothing like that. It was just. It's just All Blacks versus Wallabies.
I reckon what you've done there, you've backtracked because you've thought, I know, if I need some tickets for some big games. Hey, Joey, do you remember me? It's Brandon Smith.
When I get kicked out of the missus' place, hey, Suwali, you got that? You got a nice couch here on 1.6. Can I?
He'll be touring half the time anyway. Like he'll never be at home, so you can crash in his base.
Oh, that's what I envy about rugby. Just being able to travel the world like that. That's one of the great things about rugby.
Well, that's the draw, in my opinion, that they've got. They've got. It seems like it's a pretty desperate measure, and I think that they need some stars, which they've not been able to produce for a number of years. They need some household names, and he'll bring people along with him. So, it's been interesting to watch how sports changed the past decade, and it's sort of a thing in America where people become fans of the players.
Yeah.
So they'll follow LeBron. Oh, I'm a LeBron fan.
Yeah, well,
I'll support. Yeah. So I'd never have that growing up in England.
Yeah.
It'd be like, no, I support my team.
Yeah, you still
and if they're
support
gone,
Everton.
they're gone. Like, hate them. It's funny how you can go like from loving someone, but then when they betray your team, or you feel like they've betrayed your team, you hate them all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But now in the world of fantasy football, all these different tipping competitions.
Yeah.
And the Americanization of sport, it's people love LeBron. So they don't care who he plays for. They're just going to support LeBron James.
Yeah, so it's like a marketing ploy, really.
So people become Joseph Swalihi fans. And it's like, I'm going to watch him in league. I reckon they are Rugby Australia will be hoping he kills it.
Yeah,
So then people go, I want to watch him. I want to become a fan of him. So I'm going to now watch him wherever he plays his trade.
Yeah.
And if that's for the Wallabies, for the Waratahs, I don't care. I'm gonna watch him. So,
I hope I eat my words. I hope that he is a massive difference in the Wallabies becoming a great side, but I don't want them to beat the All Blacks.
yeah,
Simple. Simple.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Nothing.
No, nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure like when you left Melbourne Storm.
Yeah.
Like, I hope he does really well up there.
Yeah.
But I don't want him to beat Melbourne.
Yeah,
but I'm sure
you
Craig
don't want me
Bellamy
to come
would,
and beat Melbourne Storm, obviously.
Yeah, but it has caused it's a conversation piece, and obviously in rugby league we have the 12 like people get up in arms about yourself signed 12 months in advance. You played the season with the Storm, but you signed for the Roosters, and there's other cases of that where people get people can't get their heads around it. So Gus Gould was pretty vocal around this. About letting him go now. So let's have a listen to what he said on, I believe, 100% Footy on Monday evening.
You're saying he should go now.
Go now. You made your decision.
The
Go now.
The game should get rid of him now.
Yeah, go now.
Really?
Go now.
I don't know how Nick would feel about
Don't
that.
let the door hit you on the arse on the way out. See you later. Gone.
That's harsh. Oh, you know what?
Well, but he's made his decision.
Yeah, he's made his decision, but he's still in his NRL contract to play. You can't just tear up a contract and get rid of him.
All right, well, I'm just saying.
There you go. That's what Gus wants.
He signed a contract for a rugby 18 months before his rugby league contract ends. You can't sign with any other rugby league club in that time. He can only sign with rugby. He's made his decision. I've got nothing against the kid. I've loved having him. He's a tremendous athlete. Great for the game. But he's decided to be a rugby player.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we should be encouraging him to hurry up and go. Like,
no, absolutely not. I still want him around at the Roosters for 2 years.
Yeah,
we need him. But I don't think he would be saying that if he was contracted to the Bulldogs, would he?
Probably not. But I don't know. I think for me, I would view this as a compliment to our game. Like, yeah, he started with rugby, but he was drawn to the NRL. Huge compliment to our game that, I don't see the shoe being on the other foot where, rugby league teams are going after rugby union players. It's been a long time since any of that's happened. So I would view this as like, it's a compliment. Get him to talk about just how great our game is. That's what we need. That's what we need to do. He could have been the poster boy of NRL for many years to come, that the figurehead of the competition, but it wasn't to be. And I think the Rugby Australia chairman Hamish McLennan, he's quoted as saying, "What a bunch of crybabies." Well, I don't know if it's that. It's going to spark debate. I don't know if it's crybaby.
Who's he talking to? Talking about Gus and that?
He's referring to league. And what a bunch of crybabies. See, I'd view that if I was really, I think we should view it as a compliment to what our competition can do and springboard these fine athletes. So, but then look at it as, okay, well, what have Union got that we don't? Well, it's a global appeal.
Yeah.
So let's look to, there's talk of Four Nations coming back this year without England, but that's another story for another day. But let's look to get our game, have more of a footprint on the global market. So let's look at markets in America, North America, Canada, but then also, why don't we just aim to grow our sport to even here in Australia, to a place where Rugby Australia can't match it?
Yeah.
Like in terms of the dollar amount. So our cap goes up beyond belief because we're just dominating Australian sport. Let's look at it as a chance to, like, right, we've got to crush. I don't know about crush your enemies, but like just really excel, where it's like, well, why would I want to go anywhere else when I can play league?
Yeah. No, I agree. And the thing is, ARU could have had Joseph Suwali. They could have taken the risk. I think it was 100K they had to pay him or something like that for 3 years. They could have taken the risk, but the NRL took the risk to grab him because they saw the potential in him. But now they see the potential in him, and now instead of paying 100K, they're paying 1.6 million. Like, he was a rugby player to start off with, but then NRL saw the potential in him, and the Roosters and the Rabbitohs saw the potential in him. And then the Roosters stole them off the Rabbitohs. So I don't know why they're calling us crybabies.
It's just a topic for.
But
I don't think it's crybabies. It's a topic of conversation.
Yeah, I think,
which is obviously going to be talked about.
Yeah, we need to grow the game internationally. Yeah, you're right.
And make our competition stronger than ever, where people go, why would I want to leave?
I think our ratings and stuff are going through the roof at the moment. I think the introduction of Redcliffe was a big one for Brisbane. I think 25% of Brisbane viewers have gone up because of the Redcliffe inclusion. So that's massive, and I guess that's props to Redcliffe for actually being successful, because it could have gone one or two ways, and Redcliffe have kind of shown what they can do, and rugby league's benefiting for it. It's getting
a couple of things. They don't like being referred to as Redcliffe.
Oh, what are they? The Finns?
The Dolphins.
The Finns!
And also, I don't agree with you. It couldn't have gone one or two ways. It could have gone loads of different ways. Could have gone really well.
Oh, it could have gone good or bad.
No, it could have gone like in between. And it might, like, a little bit good, a little bit bad. I don't agree with that comment. That's a cliche football answer.
One or two ways. Could have gone three.
Could have gone a multitude of ways. It still might.
But it's going a good way. Up.
It is going good. The Dolphins, not Redcliffe, they get really angry.
Really?
Yes, they do. They want to detach from the Redcliffe area.
What if I call them the Brisbane Dolphins?
Brisbane Dolphins.
Would they like that? I don't think so.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
I don't want to piss them off anymore. I'm still dealing with injuries from the Finns.
Yeah. Do you play them again this year, do you know?
I hope not.
Yeah. Kafusi will just...
he'll be suspended again.
Fair enough. In other news, Graham Annesley. Some bunker comments. Basically saying, as... Graham Annesley, is he head of football? Is that his actual title? Yeah. So he obviously does the weekly press conference. There's a bit of conjecture around the no try where kick out has stripped the ball from the Warriors player. It went up as a no try. I thought, and the Warriors were.
It's one of those ones, like if it goes up a try, it's probably a try.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we spoke about before, the bunker can't be black and white. Oh, it can't be like in a grey area. It has to be black and white. Like it's either try or no try. And then for him to come out and say they don't have a definitive answer whether it was a try or a no try. It's pretty hard.
I think Annesley would like his time again. I really do.
Yeah.
Because even those... So say a decision like the kick out one, I personally think it was ripped and there was a stripping motion.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the same.
And there was intent there to dislodge the ball.
Yeah.
But had they come out and said that was the right or the wrong call,
Yeah.
it was still going to create debate.
Yeah.
So say I think there was a strip. If Ansley says no, we backed the video ref, that was correct.
Yeah.
It wasn't a strip. I'd have been like, well, I still think it is.
Yeah, everyone's going to have their opinion.
So it's going to be
standpoint.
Exactly. I think you've got to be definitive in your for a head of football. They've got to be clear and go, no, we think this because I can remember going. We had some referees come in, and it was really educational. Where they showed us some clips, ref cam, and an incident happened, and you have to decide, like, was it a strip or was it a loose carry?
Yeah.
And the room basically is split.
Yeah.
And it gives you a bit of a level of understanding of just how difficult it is for the referees.
Yeah.
But I think when you've got all the video evidence of it, and when you go to a review, you've got to have the referee or the video referee or the team of people there to go, no, this is this because that, and stick by it.
Yeah.
And not just say, oh, it's a grey area, because what that then leads into, unfortunately, is, well, that team always gets the grey area 50-50s. you know what I mean? Like,
do we have a 2-bunker system where you can challenge the 1 bunker?
Oh, God. No, but do you know what I mean? Though, where it comes like, well, if it's black, we can't be black or white. But I reckon it's just going to be, no, we've made this decision.
Yeah, I
Because
think they
then
need to come up with an answer.
Yeah, come up with an answer. I don't believe you can say it's grey area, because because then, like I say, it leads into those, not conspiracy theories, but fans that say, oh, we always get dudded.
Yeah.
That team always gets those 50-50 calls. Like, and I just think you've got to,
like any team I play, they always get
you've got to have your decision. And back it up and trust it. And also acknowledge we do make the right calls, and that's when Ansley comes out and says, oh, we got that one wrong.
Yeah, like the Manly one. He come out and, did you see that? The forward pass? Because that ultimately led to them losing.
Yeah.
He come out and said, that's not a forward pass.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I like that they come out with it, but it's a bit of a kick in the teeth if you're a Manly supporter.
This has happened before, but I think it's good that he fronts up every single week and go, you know what, we got that wrong.
Yeah.
Because we're human beings, we're going to get it wrong. But, it is a kick in the teeth for Manly and their fans. But I just think, well, again, that could be, with a forward pass, sometimes we don't know because the momentum rule.
Do we know if the refs go to any like physics courses? Learn about relative motion.
Very smart. Because maybe you should get them on a.
Because if you're on a bus going 60 k's and I throw a ball up, it's not gonna land right where I throw it up. It's gonna land relative to the motion that I'm going.
Yeah, if you're ever on a train and you throw something out, it doesn't travel backwards. It hits the ground where you are on the train. Yeah. Same as if you imagine like an aeroplane. If my notepad is the target for the bomb, I drop it about now.
Yeah, and then
boom. I don't drop.
Who are you dropping bombs on here, Jimmy?
I don't drop the bomb on above the target. If I'm a moving object, I wouldn't drop a bomb over the target.
No.
You got to go before.
No, exactly. And the bomb would travel forward, but you've dropped it straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if we get a science course for the referees, that'd be nice. That's not
Physics.
a inertia, inertia's different. Don't worry.
Let's just think of big scientific words. It's not photosynthesis, is it?
Photosynthesis, that's a word. That's how plants eat.
Yeah, the grass.
And
We've gone off on a bit of a strange tangent again for a change. But yeah, I think we all acknowledge that the game isn't black or white. And there are grey areas, but I think as head of football, you've got to say, nah, this is this because... Yeah. All right, we'll get on to questions for the boys. As always, we've had a few absolute crackers from our audience. Let's see where we're at. Charlie White has sent me some interesting ones. Who is from Elliot _offerees? Who is winning a wrestling session, Sir Cheese or Ginger Graham? I think that's who's going to win. Who would win in a wrestle between me and you?
Right now?
You did come out of the Melbourne Storm system.
Now I'm in the Roosters. They're probably just the same. What system did you come out of? Yeah, but you come out of the Dogs of War.
The Dogs of War. Matt, I was never really that key. I'm not gonna lie. I'm quite good at wrestling because I'm low. Yeah.
So like how the whole deal is get double underhooks. Well, it's a lot harder when you've got to bend over to get them.
Yeah.
So that's how I use my head well. I put it up against the chest so you can't like.
I can just imagine you in the spandex. Foxcatcher. Have you ever seen the movie Foxcatcher?
Nah. An undisclosed man I know is actually a former coach of the Melbourne Storm. Actually, maybe still coach. He used to get fully dressed up in spandex, in black spandex. His wife actually told us this. And he used to crawl around the room and before they were going to make love, and he'd pretend to be the Black Panther.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know why my head went there, but you talk about spandex. He used to call himself the Black Panther, so BP.
Well,
off topic again, sorry.
That is okay. What else have we got from producer Charlie? They're from last week.
Jammer. What's Jammer? How'd you get Jammer?
I was in a team with too many Jameses. There was like 4 Jameses, and every time, like when I was about 10, there was like 4 Jameses, and then people who got James was like, what? Then, yeah. Who's the toughest to tackle? This is from Brandon Crawford.
Who's the toughest to tackle? So I usually find like the hardest people to tackle are usually outside backs for myself, because when they're running, it's usually when you're on the back foot or something like that. So I would have said Teddy was the hardest, because he's like in the gym. Teddy is strong and he's like thick, but he's elusive and can break tackles. But if you go in front rower, I'd probably say Adam Fanor-Blake at the moment, because he's 100,000 kilos heavy, and he's got late feet, and that's I find very hard to deal with.
Do you ever play against Roger Tuivasa-Sheck?
Yes. I remember at one time we put a ball dead, and I was run back to the 30-metre line, and my asshole, when I seen him running back with the ball, when I've looked left, look right, I could hear my bum going as he's running at me one-on-one. And I didn't get him.
No.
I slowed him down, though, for someone else to get him.
I've had a few air swings at Roger in my time. That used to be, like, talk about, not even the tackle, it's just the concentration you have to have. Yeah. Like, if you kick chase, you have to concentrate. You just can't be, you've got to really focus. You
just want to switch off.
If you start drifting off, like...
I remember he done Kane Lynette one time. It was like a 1 metre short side. Yeah. And he's gone that way. And he got young Tonema Payer actually as well. With these 1 metre short sides, and he turns them into tries. But yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's over at rugby. He can stay.
Yeah, he can stay. I reckon there's talk of him coming back, isn't there?
Yeah, I think coming to the Roosters.
Well,
we got 1.6 freed up.
That's true. So we had a question. This is a bit of a long one from Ivan Chan a couple of weeks ago. Desperate to get this on. Desperate. Couldn't even fit the question in the message box, so he actually directly sent it. Focus here, Brandon, because this is a long one. What type of hectic cheese are you, Mr. Smith? Are you a classic Parmigiano Reggiano, a nice marbled and aromatic blue cheese, a roundly shaped block of cheddar cheese, or perhaps a bit more childlike, those cheese strings we used to get at our primary school. Not primary school you went to, mate. Or maybe, to those who don't fancy you as much, you're a Kazu Matsu, a.k.a. the rotten/putrid, a Sardinian cheese that's literally made out of maggots. What say you, Mr. Smith? And then he also says, basically, P.S., I really want that shirt, preferably signed by the Jam and Cheese. I also spent about 15 minutes writing this question, so please don't let it be in vain. So here we are. We're answering the question. I can't even know.
I'm definitely not a blue cheese. I hate blue cheese. And people that... I hate blue cheese. But whenever someone asks me, because I get this question a lot, I like to think of myself as a nice... either a brie cheese, triple cream brie, or a camembert. Because...
Are they the ones you bake?
No, well, you could, but they're like hard and white on the outside, but soft on the inside, just like myself. That's why I like that. But I don't know what the maggots cheese is. That is rank.
No, it's actually making me a bit nauseous, even thinking about it.
The other cheeses are pretty good. I like that he used Parmigiano Reggiano. That's authentic Italian. Parmesan is actually French.
Is it?
Yeah. Parmesan, that's French. Parmigiano Reggiano is correct way.
So are they different types or the same?
I think they're the same, but just not exactly the same. That one's not as good.
Yeah, I thought it was Italian.
Yeah, Parmigiano Reggiano is, and then yeah, that's Italian. Then Parmesan is French. I think, search that up, someone. I was watching a famous Italian chef cook, and they pulled out Parmesan, and he was, not happy.
Not happy.
No. But the question I wanted to hear from you, because it was there. So it was Mad Monday related, but but I won't go with that one. I'm going to ask you if you could go. Actually, I guess if you could go and get on the beers, doesn't have to be Mad Monday, with two people, dead or alive, who would they be?
Are you trying to get me to quote The Office?
No. What's The Office?
Right. Okay.
I know the show, but...
Yeah. They asked David Brent this question.
Oh, really? Oh, is that the American or the Ricky Gervais?
Mate, the Ricky Gervais. Come on. Who did you say? He goes, someone, Dalai Lama and Rory Bremner, because Rory would probably do impressions of us. He goes, it'd get a bit heavy with those two, wouldn't it? Oh, no, he goes, probably Nelson Mandela and Dalai Lama and Rory Bremner, because it'd get a bit heavy with those two, wouldn't it? And Rory would probably do impressions of them. And me. So sorry, I thought you were trying to tee me up for that.
Nah, I'm sorry.
No. If I could go...
But that's given me a different perspective on who I'd take now. Because he's gone deep there with Nelson Mandela.
Yeah. No, if... Can I have a week to think about it?
Yeah, you can have a week.
I mean, I'm sure the suspense will be killing the listeners. Like that could be like the end of our. That should be our signature move.
Yeah.
Like coming up next week on the Jam and Cheese show, I'd like to go for beers at. Find out next week. Like a little.
Who went to the moon? I didn't know if that's true.
Neil Armstrong. Well, mate,
we'll get him drunk and go tell me the truth.
Mate, neighbours used to do it. Always leave you on a cliffhanger. All soaps. Leave you on a cliffhanger, so they just go like. So you're not like. So if people are obviously on the edge of the seat, they can't wait to who I'm going to sit here. They automatically on a tune. They're going to get that's going to lead them into next week. See, like all soaps do.
If you'd use Joseph Swally in that situation, you'd be like, and this is what Brandon had to say about Joseph.
Yeah,
and then on next week's show,
find out what Brandon Smith.
I'm donning the buy round again. Get around it, boys.
Yeah. No, I'm going to need some time to think about that because it's not
Don't let it consume you.
Oh,
Don't let it consume.
Matt, to be fair,
I think you're an overthinker, I would say.
I think you could be right. No, because I've been thinking about the elephant and the chickens quite a bit. And
You do not know how many
need-
times I've asked, like, the boy... Reds reckons he could take 50 10-year-olds.
50 10-year-olds
50. But he said average 10-year-olds.
average.
I said, what about
big effort, that.
if they were Muay Thai, like Ray? You get fuck that. That's his exact words.
Well, on the there's probably some more questions to you on the chicken and the elephant. Are the chickens cognitively aware that they're trying to kill the elephant?
Yes, they are.
Do I get to train the chickens like to like?
I think we'll go with they're already trained. You've trained them.
Yeah, so I can give them like some tactics, like a game plan.
Yeah, for sure. And then I'd love to hear about
they've got to follow through. They can't just go be a chicken. They've got to
No, they're fully equipped.
Like, so they've got the game plan. Some of them willing to kamikaze, bonsai themselves into the elephant.
Yeah, they can. Maybe not wear bombs. I don't think.
No. Like kamikaze themselves. They're not wearing bombs.
No,
but just go like take one for the team.
Yeah, they can do that.
And if the game planned,
who's that? Who? If you were to describe an NRL player that's going, if he was a chicken, and he's going to kill an elephant, and the rest of the boys have gone, mate, you've got to stand up and kamikaze this elephant. Who would you be choosing?
Do you remember Paliacina?
Oh, Iafika Paliacina. Can we get some video clips?
I reckon he'd be my kamikaze.
He'd be the
chicken.
number one.
Yeah, send him in first.
That is such a good answer, Jimmy.
Yeah,
that is such a
the
good
elephant's
answer.
rattled, and then everyone just goes.
That is such a good answer.
The tactics would be, I think I'd go
and
for
you came up with the
back leg, back right or back left leg. We'd figure that out.
Depends what leg is dominant.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we get that down, and then basically
there's another question you just come up with.
Once we've attacked the leg, chickens are getting them.
The animals. Where are we going? But do animals have a dominant hand? Like, does a monkey prefer his right to his left?
I can't answer that question, but fascinating. I don't know.
Do you have any hidden talents?
Do I have any hidden talents? I don't have any visible talents, so there's no hidden ones.
Neither.
No.
I don't think they're hidden. I like to show off my talent.
Yeah.
If I can play a song on the piano, I'm busting it out as soon as I see a piano. No, I don't play it, but I can play a few songs all my life. Casey and JoJo.
I can play the beginning of
Macklemore.
Really? I can play the beginning of Ferrajaka. It's pretty easy. You only need 3 keys. So next week I'll come back with the 2 people.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? No, I reckon I know who it is. It'd be me 2 mates, two mates, Bont and Mavis from back home.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyone? But you could do that anytime you wanted.
Well, can't they live in England?
Yeah, but when you go to England, you can do it. We're talking Dan.
You're talking
Adolf Hitler. You can't go to lunch with him anymore. Imagine that.
Be a bit heavy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be my first priority.
No,
I'm thinking Neil Armstrong because the moon question would just really get to me. But he
might not give you anything.
Yeah, he'd have to.
So there's a caveat to this question that they get loose lips.
Well, when you get people on the beers, they get loose lips anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing them from the dead for a day.
Made up. Neil Armstrong's not dead, by the way.
Is he not?
No.
When 64. How old is he?
No, it was 70s.
Didn't 1964? Does that mean? No.
I think it was 70s.
69.
Did he?
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah, well, he died. Neil Armstrong died in 2012. Producer Charlie, that's... Rest in peace, Neil.
Well, what was it? 1969? How long did it take to get to the moon? Well,
I thought it was in the 70s.
1969.
Ah.
I'm a wealth of knowledge. Jesus. I know all about science.
So, would you go back?
What?
Right, Elon Musk gets the first civilian flight to the moon.
Yeah.
Like a holiday. Are you on it?
No. No
What?
way. What's cool about the moon? It's a bunch of craters.
Yeah, but you'd be one of the, like, within such like an amazing group of people, like such a small, and also the view of the Earth, like you'd be in outer space. Obviously, there's high risk. It's the first one.
Does not interest me whatsoever. It's like,
See, it was not would you go? It's like, would you go on the first one? Like, I thought you'd be like, oh, not
no,
the
it
first.
just doesn't interest. It's I don't really like long car drives. I don't like airplane rides. Like, imagine that's a long trip doing nothing. If I could take like a few boys that know a good game of cards 500, yeah, I could probably do it.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not even looking at the sites. I'm playing
exactly, yeah.
I'm playing games and taking people's money.
Isn't 500 a game of chance, though?
Absolutely not. It's a game of pure skill and partnership.
Pure
Me and Christian Walsh used to. We honestly got so good together because of our partnership, our connection, that the ATO started hitting up about the money that the boys were transferring us. Because
Did you have signals? Because there's no talking allowed, is there?
no signals, but we just knew when he played that, I played this.
Yeah.
When he touched my heart, his heart, it meant he's got heart.
Ah, yes,
Nah.
yes.
No, but
Shithousery. Absolute shithousery.
no, we actually didn't do that.
Or
'Cause
the old
I would have loved to do that. Well, Walsh is a
diamond.
man of integrity. I myself am a man of. I would love to take everyone's money, but there's actually a funny story about that. So, we were mad 500 team, the Storm, and we had a big when we were over in Noosa for our COVID season. We decided to have a game of euchre, a competition between the team, and it was $50 to enter. So it was quite a lot of money. It was about $400, and then Harry Grant and Cooper Johns were partnered together. Already a suspect group because Cooper's been well known to be very suspect, and then Nico Hines ended up going on Harry's computer to do a presentation for the team, and then he had got a message from Cooper Johns, but because the iCloud's connected, the messages come up on the computer, and the messages come up, and then Nico's going through them, and there's just this big long thing of like signals and calls.
Oh my God.
And like 50 in the house bounce meant they had a good, like they've got good suits of black. If they said that did, it means they had the Joker. Like these are all things we would, like all words we would say in a normal conversation. Yeah. And just like all
That's
these little
appalling.
and they got banned obviously, and they had to pay the entry fee, but it was just low. It was very low by Cooper and Harry. And to this day, Walshy, I don't think has forgiven them.
Good on him, and he shouldn't.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I reckon that'll
Which is this is a sport podcast, or is it just people talking?
people talking. That wraps us up. Parramatta Thursday.
Yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
All the best. No Bolo involved as well. Happy days.
Can't wait to see him on the sidelines.
All right. All the best, lads. Thanks for listening,
Thanks,
everybody.
mate.
Like,
Thanks,
subscribe, do all the jazz. Send us a question. Leave us a comment.